Who is ready for an amazing week? This is Julie HR, and today is March the 10th, 2025. I'm going to keep this to 20 minutes to respect your time. I'm excited to get started, so let's go. And we're off. This is our 12th weekly update. I have been with you from the very beginning of January, and I intend to be with you each and every step of the way, keeping you updated so you do not have to dig within the internet or your resources to get the HR details that you need. That's what I am here for. So as mentioned, each week I'll cover key HR news, trends, and compliance insights that are constantly changing. But I'm bringing it to you because you are that HR leader within your organization. You're the person, and this is the best quote that I found that I think speaks to you. The time is now, and the person is you. It is you, that HR leader, who is coming to my YouTube each and every week, learning, absorbing, and being the best HR leader that you know you can be. You're staying on top of things, and I'm helping you every step of the way. So let's get started on what we're going to go over this week. First of all, we're going to look at last week's recap. We're going to look at the upcoming compliance dates and key dates, the executive orders, the updates on those. We'll be looking at state law updates, employee engagement updates, and you're not going to want to miss what I have in store for you today on this. We will also have a featured template that is one that will really speak to you, and perhaps you want to put it on your desk each and every day to look at and remind yourself how awesome you are. Okay? Now we're going to look at the upcoming compliance key dates. But first we're going to go over last week's recap, which last week we went over all the compliance dates through the first week of March. We also looked at the new administration and HR. We looked at the executive orders to include equal opportunity issues, immigration, diversity, equity, inclusion, and AI. We focused in on those particular four. And we also reviewed my hreducation.com website because that now has a lot of resources that will keep you up to date, and I am keeping it up to date on all of the HR topics that can be influenced within this day and age. We also went over employee engagement last week because number one, March's theme is Employee Appreciation Month. And I really certainly hope that you had a great Employee Appreciation Day for your employees. Last week, what we talked about were some great ideas for Employee Appreciation Day. And actually, some of those ideas we went over could actually be used during the month of March. We looked at and reviewed upcoming developments across all of the states. Yes, all of the states. I have that for you. Our template, our feature template, was one that is searched within my Etsy site the most, and that's the 30, 60, 90-day bundle, and also the 30, 60, 90, 120-day PowerPoint. Those were my feature templates. We also talked about, and it is so important, the top 10 cybersecurity essentials for HR leaders. I hope you know that HR is the number one target, and that was a very in-depth talk and review. So if you need to go back, take a look at that and make sure you've got all those items down. So some upcoming compliance dates. There's not as many. On the 15th, you have the S Corps and partnerships tax revenues are due. It's also going to be, as we look towards the end of the month, it's the end of quarter one. And the 1094C, 1095C, 1099, and 8809E filing deadline is due if you look at this HR calendar of key dates, which can also be found in my Etsy store. A Form 1099 miscellaneous due if reporting sales in Box 7. EEO1 reporting and filing data deadline, and the 1099 miscellaneous paper forms due. Yes, I've moved it up to March and April because we're getting very close. So make sure you take a look at these things. On the 23rd, April, Administrative Professionals Day. You do not want to miss that. Also, as far as the states go, take a look at this. As mentioned earlier and in my last video, I don't want to take this more than 20 minutes because I want to respect your time and make sure that you get what you need, but I don't go over. So the developments this week, March 17th, Alabama lowers info return electronic filing threshold. Ohio extends military leave protections. Michigan requires veterans benefits and services poster. Ohio pay statement requires take effect. Missouri paid sick leave employer notice and posting requirements. As we mentioned, Bellingham, Washington minimum wage increases to $18.66. Missouri initiated paid sick leave takes effect. New York Safe Hotels Act takes effect. We've been talking about that for a while. New Jersey pay transparency law takes effect, but that is not until June. So I'm going to allow you guys to take a look at this and review it and come back to it and maybe even research it on your own if this is your state. But New York is in there about 4 times. New Jersey, Missouri, Michigan, Ohio, Alabama, and whatnot. So let's keep going. As far as executive orders and topics of importance that are surrounding the Trump administration and their first 100 days, there are a number of items that I do want to go over, and these would be the ones that I want to go over. However, we're going to go to my website, and we're going to zoom out for a second, and we're actually going to go to it. Here we go. It's www.hreducationedge.com. And what you're going to get is resources from my weekly updates. So number 1, if you download this particular document, open it up. Okay, there we go. Wasn't sure if it was going to open up or not. The topics on here are things that were covered within the campaign, equal opportunity issues, discrimination and harassment, diversity, equity and inclusion, artificial intelligence, immigration, pay transparency, employee leaves, wage and hour, payroll, Social Security and Medicare, tax cuts and Jobs Act, workplace safety and security, labor relations, non-compete agreements, reproductive health benefits, and data privacy. I'm keeping up with these every single week. These are the ones that have the executive orders, and here are the employer considerations which you as an employer are going to want to consider. And then as of this week, the updates that have taken effect. And that's what I will be talking about when I go back to the PowerPoint, because we did have our president discuss a couple of items to include tips on no tax on tips and also no tax on Social Security. However, there are some items that need to be mentioned in conjunction with that. So let's go back. Just wanted to show you where this was. Let's go back to my PowerPoint real quick, and I'm going to click through it as I always do and get to the right page as fast as I can. I'm keeping this under 20 minutes. You guys are going to have a crazy busy morning. I know it, because you are the absolute best HR leaders. Okay, as far as the executive orders were concerned, you saw where you could find every single topic. This is what's going on with equal employment issues, discrimination and harassment. Last week, no, a quorum had not been restored. Now there has. There's enough individuals on the EEOC leadership task force or board that they are now able to make decisions. Somebody was reinstated, it was a Democrat reinstated. And there has now been, I think as of March the 4th, don't quote me, it might be the 5th, the EEOC has recently announced that it will be cracking down on anti-American bias. So make sure all your job postings and hiring processes are inclusive and do not unintentionally screen out qualified U.S. applicants. Maintain clear documentation showing your thorough recruitment efforts and demonstrate that genuine attempts were made to recruit U.S. workers prior to extending job offers to foreign nationals. That has just come out, so that is major news there. The diversity, equity, and inclusion over on my website, it takes a bit of a deep dive into the provisions of the executive order that have been temporarily blocked. There is one part of the order that has not been blocked. So go back to my webpage. I'm going to allow y'all to do that on your own time and just take a look. But know that the Trump administration is emphasizing a merit-based approach. But note, some things have been blocked, and there's only one thing that is still open. Immigration, I'm not going to give up on this right here. Employers, you better be auditing your I-9s. You better have contingency plans for when an ICE agent shows up at your office. Also, workplace safety. I have a workplace safety item that's also on my website. It speaks to OSHA and the fact that no longer, as of in February, is COVID reporting required. So take a look at that as it was in the past. Also, I know a lot of you watched our president's address to Congress, and I was there. I watched it. I had my notebook in front of me because I want to give you, my HR professionals, everything I can so you'll know what's going on, when it's going on, and you don't get overwhelmed. But as of March 9th, when I actually wrote this up, President Trump has not signed an executive order eliminating federal tax on tips, even though he did mention it the other night, Tuesday, March the 4th. But I want to let you know, currently the no tax on tips has been introduced in the Senate and referred to the Committee on Finance, but has not progressed further. Therefore, tips remain subject to federal taxation under existing laws. Also, President mentioned proposed eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits, aiming to reduce the financial burden on seniors. I'm sticking to the facts, and this is what was mentioned within the address to Congress last week. Specific details regarding the implementation of this proposal were not provided during this March 4th address. So keeping you updated, make sure you go back to my webpage and take a look at those items on my weekly update page. Employee engagement focus. Now is the time, everyone. Now, the time is now, and that person is you. And employee engagement is very important. This is the employee engagement calendar that is also on my Etsy site for purchase. I've moved, obviously, January and February, but here is just a piece of it. I wanted to read just a quote, and then I wanted to give you guys some ideas that are of importance that you take the time this month to implement within your organization. Why? Because it works. And number two, there's backup to show you there's been a lot of surveys and whatnot in these items that I'm going to be showing you on this next page. It's going to really take your HR to the next level if you're able to execute upon the items I'm giving you. So, but before we get to that, employee engagement quote. Employee engagement is all about maximum employee productivity by creating the right conditions to motivate employees to contribute their maximum effort, skills, and knowledge. But that engagement when employees are worn down and they're worried and things are in flux, that's where you come in. And these are the tools I'm giving you. Best practices and recent insights. Now, while I've only listed 4 here, there are additional ones on my website, obviously for free, on the download that give you additional items underneath these that will assist you in helping your employees to thrive during these changing regulations, tariff, or broader economic concerns. I can see it in the faces when I go and consult for employees and also in the faces of HR leaders. So I want you to know that I want to give you tools to strengthen those employees and their situations within your organization. Number 1, you want to strengthen financial wellness support. I've mentioned this before, maybe in the second week. Offer 401k education and guidance. Yes, I'm not just going to say, hey, do this. I'm going to give you the why and I'm going to give you the how. And the why is, according to January 2025 survey by the Employee Benefit Research Institute, 73 of workers reported increased stress over financial planning amid economic volatility. So what are you going to do? You're going to invite 401k brokers or financial advisors to host virtual or in-person sessions on retirement planning, especially given concerns around potential tariff impacts on certain industries. So you're going to probably want to do a one-on-one talk with your 401k broker. I'm sure you're probably the fiduciary or the individual that's in charge of it. So very important. Number 2, support mental health and well-being. You want to enhance employee assistance programs. Why? The Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the National Institute of Mental Health note a continued rise in anxiety and depression linked to economic uncertainty and global events. Guys, listen, I researched this. I went and dug deep to find you answers on how to address this. I want you to look for and offer free or subsidized mental health counseling through EAPs. If you don't have an EAP, you need one within your organization. Provide resources on stress management, bring some people in, mindfulness and coping strategies for employees worried about tariffs, job security, or general economic turbulence. Okay, you turn on the news. What are you seeing? You're seeing town halls, and you're seeing tons of people going to these town halls, and they're wanting answers. Well, guess what? Just like those people who are going on those town halls that you see on TV, town halls need to be held within your organization. Why? According to the Q1 Edelman Trust Barometer update, 74% of employees want more frequent communication about organizational direction and economic changes. I watched something tonight. I'm not sure. I think it was maybe Bernie Sanders. I didn't get to see all of it. It was just like a clip. But there were tons of people listening to him, just getting answers. There are a lot of things that are not transparent, and you as an organization need to be as transparent as possible. Hold monthly or biweekly town halls. Schedule it to address potential impacts of tariffs, legislative changes, and overall business health. Provide clear, concise updates on any changes to policies or benefits. Number 4, foster a positive culture amid uncertainty. Why? Public recognition and appreciation can boost morale, especially when external news is largely negative. People listen to all types of news and they're getting overwhelmed. I'm sure you see this. So what do you need to do? Implement peer-to-peer recognition tools or hold monthly win meetings to highlight successes. You can do that. That doesn't even cost you anything. Pardon my voice, everyone. Um, Tie recognition to company values and reinforce a shared sense of purpose. So take a look at this, but also go on my website and you'll get a whole entire list. These are so important and you can make the difference. The time is now. The person is you. The feature template is also about you. It's one that I created not with, I actually created the verbiage, the words, and whatnot. I love being creative. My background is HR. That's what I got my master's in, and I was in the working world for 20 years, and now I am a consultant. And I created this template, which has been given out for many Christmases. And I'm going to read it to you really quick. Every day, I make a meaningful difference in someone's work journey, guiding and uplifting. I lead with empathy and understanding, always placing the well being of employees at the forefront. With every decision I make, I reinforce trust, ensuring everyone feels valued and heard. I possess the strength to address challenges and the kindness to support every individual. And I'll let you guys read the rest of these. This is a feature template as it can be used as a gift or it could be used as something that you put on your desk that you look at every day to ensure your to help to give you that confidence and give you that know-how to help you understand what you're actually doing in your organization. So that this is the feature template. We're not going to have a final I usually have like a conclusion topic, but today I'm going to keep it to 20 minutes because I want to give you time to go look on my website and kind of get familiarized with what's on there. And if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you would have received a very important message to let your employees know to be sure to push their clocks forward so no one will be late for work today. So I hope everyone has a great week. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to try to put out more info for you as it comes out. I want to be there for you. I've gotten a mic. I think I'm going to be putting up a a podcast pretty soon, so I'm super excited. Please follow me. Check out my Etsy shop. Please do not reinvent the wheel. And if you do see something you like and you need some changes, let me know. But make sure you subscribe and turn on bell notifications. Have a great week. You're number one. This is your time to shine.